What is the #1 question that mystifies scientists?
Is there life on another planet?
Oh no, why does Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags? They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
It's another bag.
And that confuses people.
This, we're just gonna put into a different bag.
My life was so hard. Everybody's f***ing life is hard.
Yeah,
you were
that's
the
right.
prince of a goddamn country who dressed up as a f***ing Nazi, and now you're trying to come back as the Pope? Suck it.
She's got a point. She's an icon. She's a legend. And she is the moment.
Harry is an idiot. He signed up to fight in the Afghanistan war. That was a dumb move. You're a f***ing prince. What are you doing that shit for?
Jimmy Fallon just called out Meghan Markle's weird pretzel repackaging stunt where she takes pretzels from one bag and puts them in another bag for her cooking show. Not only that, he even called out Meghan's wildflower honey situation and how Harry's become the breadwinner's assistant.
Did you guys see this? Meghan Markle announced that her As Ever product line sold out in under an hour. It's strange when you marry a prince and you're the breadwinner of the family. Meghan was excited while Prince Harry was like, what the hell am I going to do with 3,000 cases of wildflower honey?
When late night TV is openly mocking your business model and questioning what your royal husband actually contributes, you know things have gone completely off the rails. This wasn't just a joke about her products. This was about the fundamental absurdity of their entire setup. Speaking of Meghan's weird products, one moment was so funny that I've been watching it on repeat. Reynolds and Conan O'Brien absolutely demolished her jam business in a way that'll leave you crying with laughter. We'll get to that in a bit, but before that, we have to see what the Osbournes have been saying about M&H lately. And let me tell you, they are not holding back. Kelly Osbourne went absolutely nuclear on Prince Harry in a way that shocked even seasoned talk show audiences.
I think Harry's a f***ing twat. I do.
Kelly wasn't pulling any punches. This is coming from someone whose family literally invented reality TV dysfunction. So when an Osbourne calls you out, it hits different.
I think he's a f***ing twat. He's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems.
Kelly's attacking the victim mentality that's become Harry's entire brand. The irony is rich considering the Osbournes actually dealt with real public scrutiny and family chaos for decades without constantly complaining about it.
You've been handed the world and every major contract, you had podcasts, you have all of this, and you didn't deliver because you...
There's nothing to deliver.
Yeah, because you don't have it. And that's okay. And I think they do have a right to privacy, but that doesn't seem to me what they're looking for.
Think about Harry's track record. Archewell Audio got canceled by Spotify after producing basically nothing, and their Netflix content has been mostly flops. Kelly's pointing out they had every advantage and still fumbled the bag. But Kelly's mother Sharon had even more systematic critiques, starting with one of Meghan's most tone-deaf moments.
The curtsy, the thing she said about medieval times, her lunch with the Queen was like medieval times, which, as you know, is a Disney-type entertainment place for kids. And it's just so horribly disrespectful and just a wine fest.
Meghan was romanticizing actual medieval times as if they were some elegant historical period, but Sharon's pointing out that's pure fantasy. Medieval times were brutal, unsanitary, and nothing like the fairy tale Meghan was imagining when she made that comparison.
Cuddly, lovey, holding hands, going everywhere together. It's so disingenuous. It's like, come on.
Compare their constant hand-holding to other long-term couples. Most don't need to perform their relationship for cameras every time they're in public. The manufactured intimacy is painfully obvious.
It's all just craziness going around and around, and he's turned his life and the royal family's life into a soap opera.
Harry's turned every family dispute into content with his book Spare, monetizing childhood trauma. That's not healing, that's exploitation for profit.
You've got a great life, you've got a beautiful family, you're so much in love. Move on, get a life, move on. And they just can't seem to, because their living is by telling their truth on the royal family. That's how they make their living.
Their entire business model depends on royal drama to discuss. Without family conflicts, what content do they actually have? That's why they can't move on. Controversy is their product.
You just think about her children. They have no family. They have their grandmother, Meghan's mum. That's it. There's no cousins, no aunts and uncles, no other grandparents. There's two little babies that have grown up that will never meet or know their cousins because they're not growing up with them.
Archie and Lilibet are growing up without cousins, aunts, uncles, uncles, or paternal grandparents. They'll never have Christmas with their royal cousins. That's not protection, that's isolation.
I think they're totally lost. You know, one minute they're making a cartoon, then they're doing a documentary on them, now they're saving the world. They just haven't found their path in life yet.
They're constantly switching between different ventures because none of them work. The repeated failures speak for themselves.
It's going to end very, very badly, and I don't know why. It's like history repeating itself.
Coming from someone who's watched celebrity marriages implode for decades, Sharon's prediction feels particularly ominous. Sharon wasn't finished. She had more pointed observations about how they handle family conflicts compared to how normal people deal with problems.
I haven't from day one been into the fact of, you know, talking about private things that went on in the royal family when they were a part of it. And the thing is, it's just their point of view. We haven't had the other point of view.
Sharon's highlighting the fundamental issue with their approach. They're only telling one side of the story. The royal family has stayed silent while Harry and Meghan control the entire narrative through interviews, documentaries, and books.
Don't bring it to the public. Nobody wants to know about it. Every family has problems. Keep it to yourself.
This is Sharon laying down basic family etiquette that most people understand instinctively. Every family has drama, but you don't monetize it or turn it into public entertainment. Then Sharon delivered what might be her most devastating comparison by sharing her own family story.
Should she go to her father? Yes, she should. I didn't talk to my father for 18 years. He used me in his companies and all of that.
Sharon's setting up a contrast here that makes both Harry and Meghan look terrible. She had legitimate grievances with her father. He cost her millions through his business dealings and put her in serious financial trouble.
Millions and millions I had to pay because my father got me in the crap. But the situation is, when he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, I went to him and took care of him because he's my father.
Sharon forgave a father who cost her millions and cared for him during illness. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan cut off their families over media disputes. But even Sharon's brutal honesty was nothing compared to that Ryan Reynolds and Conan moment. Trust me, what's coming is pure comedy gold. The Osbournes opened the floodgates, and suddenly everyone in entertainment felt free to pile on. At the Golden Globes, Joe Coy delivered a joke that crystallized what everyone was thinking.
Turns out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. And that's just by Netflix.
That line hit like a bomb in a room full of people who actually had to produce content for their deals. The paid-for-nothing narrative was born and spread like wildfire. Even animated shows started using them as punchlines for lazy celebrity culture.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
Family Guy reduced their entire brand to getting paid massive amounts for sponsored posts while contributing nothing meaningful. They're supposedly global humanitarians doing ads for fast food. British comedian Jimmy Carr had his own brutal takes on their lifestyle and choices.
I said Meghan Markle is, of course, a lifelong feminist, which she's demonstrated by marrying a prince and giving up her job.
Carr's joke cuts to the heart of the contradiction. Everyone noticed, but few dared to say publicly. A lifelong feminist who gives up her career to marry into the most traditional monarchy on earth.
Harry and Meghan say they'd now like to split their time between spending your money in the UK and spending your money in Canada.
Carr's taxpayer joke highlighted their sense of entitlement. They want the benefits of both countries while contributing nothing to either, just taking money from both sides. But Bill Maher delivered the most systematic takedown, starting with their fundamental hypocrisy.
They're ridiculous after that. They want it both ways. You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us, poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want attention.
Maher nailed the core problem with their entire media strategy. You can't simultaneously be private victims and public content creators.
You're just fragile. Just take a hint from the Queen, the recently departed.
Never complain, never explain, and rarely be heard speaking in public.
The comparison to the Queen was particularly cutting. Elizabeth II never explained or complained for 70 years. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan can't stop talking.
You're complaining about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous. I totally agree.
When you're living in luxury and complaining about your hard life, people stop listening pretty quickly. Even respected voices like John Oliver couldn't hide his assessment.
I don't think they will change because I don't think they have the capacity to, but they obviously should.
Coming from Oliver, this was particularly damning. He's essentially saying they're incapable of change or growth. British satire show Spitting Image summed up their California delusion perfectly.
In California, we're just a regular couple living close to Oprah and far from the paparazzi. Woo. but not too far.
The puppet show captured their contradictory desires, wanting to be close enough to celebrities for relevance, but far enough from paparazzi for privacy. Then comedian Tim Dillon delivered what might be the most savage assessment of all.
And nobody is a realer housewife than Meghan Markle, who married this ginger retard and took him out of his racist family so that they could live in Beverly Hills or wherever the they live.
Tim's calling Meghan the ultimate real housewife who manipulated a naive prince into leaving his family and country. He's saying she saw an opportunity and took it, turning Harry into her personal ATM for this new California lifestyle. And then came the moment that had me rewinding the video multiple times. Ryan Reynolds was telling a story about his father being a former cop who became a food broker, dealing with jams and tiny yogurts when Conan made the perfect connection.
And he's like, no, I'm a middleman for jars of jam.
He works for Meghan Markle.
Yes.
Really tiny jams, harvestable jams.
Yes, exactly.
Made from the oils of Montecito.
The way they say tiny jams and harvestable jams is comedy gold. Reynolds and Conan are basically mocking the pretentious artisanal language that surrounds Meghan's American Riviera Orchard brand. The fact that they're treating Harry like a door-to-door jam salesman is the perfect insult. But Tim Dillon had his own theory about why Meghan's lifestyle brand approach is so successful despite being ridiculous.
Well, what's brilliant about what she's doing is she knows people want to spend money, and spending money makes them feel like they're getting something that's better, even though it might not necessarily be true.
Tim's pointing out the psychology behind lifestyle marketing. People will pay premium prices for ordinary products if you convince them it makes them special. Meghan's jam costs exponentially more than regular jam, but people buy into the exclusivity narrative.
She just thinks we're all monsters and we're all just kind of pigs in the mud, and that she's helping us with jam and honey.
This is the most damning assessment of Meghan's entire business philosophy. Tim's saying she views her customers as inferior beings who need her guidance to live properly. The jam and honey aren't just products. They're symbols of her supposed superiority over regular people who don't know how to live well. What we've witnessed isn't just comedy, it's the entertainment industry rejecting their entrepreneurial credibility. From Jimmy Fallon's pretzel mockery to the Osbournes' brutal honesty to Tim Dillon's savage assessments, we've seen complete dismissal of their business ventures. They've become poster children for failed celebrity entrepreneurship. When your jam business becomes a punchline and your podcast gets canceled, you're not entrepreneurs, you're warnings. The entertainment industry has turned them into content themselves. Every product launch becomes material for comedians. They're not building brands, they're providing endless material for people who actually understand entertainment. When your own industry can't stop laughing at your business ideas, how do you convince anyone you're serious entrepreneurs? What do you think about the entire Meghan and Harry situation? Do you think they'll eventually go into loss with their businesses and go broke? Or do you think they'll do just fine? Let me know in the comments below and subscribe if you want to catch more royal drama as it unfolds.